The study of the human past, ancient and recent, through material remains is known as archaeology. Archaeologists are constantly searching for the next big discovery. Join us as we examine the 10 most recent and controversial archaeological discoveries. Number 1. Discovery of Buddha in Western Australia. 2 Western Australian men discovered a bronze Buddha figurine that could date to the early Ming dynasty while exploring the country's northern coast with a metal detector. If the Buddha is authenticated, it will be of high value and potentially of historical importance if it can be shown that his arrival on the coast predates the first European visits to the western coast of Australia. The 2 filmmakers, who had recently conducted practical tests with metal detectors in beach areas in preparation for filming, did not expect to find any Napoleonic treasure, much less a potentially ancient Chinese treasure. They were only looking in areas where they knew they could operate, not where they knew the team would go. They were simply marking the least likely locations. They had been digging up beer cans for a long time and were about to give up when one of them received a strong signal on their metal detector about something large and close to the surface. But after another minute of digging, they discovered a baby Buddha. Despite its small size, the figurine appears to be made of gilded bronze and weighs more than 1 kilogram. The most intriguing possible explanation for its presence in Western Australia is that it comes from a Ming treasure voyage of 1421. This could imply that the Chinese visited the area almost 200 years before the Dutchman Dirk Hartog arrived in 1616. Number 2. The oldest human footprints ever discovered may be even older than previously thought. Controversial fossilized footprints discovered in 2002 on the Greek island of Crete are around 6 million years old, according to new research. The 50 footprints, which were originally dated at 5 million years, could have preceded this estimate proposed by academics in 2017 by more than 300,000 years. It is believed that the footprints, thought to have been left by hominids, could change scientists' understanding of how early humans evolved, shifting the group's starting point from Africa to the Mediterranean Sea. Researchers believe the bipedal creature that left the footprints belonged to Greekopithecus freybergi, an early human ancestor discovered in 1944 and nicknamed the Greco. The footprints are almost 3 million years older than the footprints of Australopithecus afarensis from Litoli, Tanzania. If the team's findings are correct, they could complicate the widely accepted belief that humans originated in Africa. Number 3. The pharaoh's medal, Tutankhamun and his legacy. Tutankhamun was an Egyptian ruler who reigned from the end of the 18th dynasty in 141 BC until his death in 1324 BC, at the age of 19. Although Tutankhamun's fame paled in comparison to that of his successors, during his reign the young king was frequently praised by the Egyptian people for correcting the injustices of his predecessor and reforming Egypt after Akhenaten left it in ruins. State of agitation. The young pharaoh's global popularity arose primarily due to European exploration of the various royal tombs more than 3,000 years after his death. The fascination with Tutankhamun, as we know him today, arose more from his tomb than from the king himself. Howard Carter, an English archaeologist and Egyptologist, discovered Tutankhamun's tomb in the Valley of the Kings, Luxor, in 1922, almost completely intact. These discoveries were significant to archaeologists, as they sparked renewed interest in ancient Egypt and the wonders of Luxor, establishing Howard Carter and Tutankhamun as household names around the world. Number 4. The sacred nails and their meaning in Christianity. Some Christians, especially Roman Catholics and Eastern Orthodox, venerate relics claimed to be the sacred nails with which Jesus was crucified. These nails are among the instruments of passion, objects associated with the Passion of Jesus in Christian symbolism and art. The sacred nails, like other instruments, have become objects of veneration among many Christians and have been represented in paintings. However, the authenticity of these relics is questionable. Number 5. The Bust of Nefertiti. The Bust of Nefertiti, a magnificent work carved in limestone and covered with painted stucco, immortalizes Nefertiti, the great royal wife of the Egyptian pharaoh Akhenaten. Discovered by German archaeologist Ludwig Borchardt in Egypt, this bust dates to around 1345 BC and is attributed to the sculptor Thutmose. However, controversy surrounds its acquisition, as Borchardt may have engaged in intentional fraud by misleading Egyptian officials about the true nature of the bust. The display of the bust of Nefertiti in Berlin since 1923 has been the subject of debate and requests for repatriation by Egypt. A newly discovered document reveals that Borchardt misled Egyptian officials about the quality of the bust and provided misleading information. This revelation has intensified the dispute over the ownership of the bust of Nefertiti, and Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities has requested its return or, at least, its temporary repatriation. The controversy raises ethical considerations about the repatriation of cultural heritage and highlights the importance of addressing disputes over the possession of historical artifacts. Egypt's request is part of a global debate over the return of cultural artifacts seized during colonial times or in archaeological excavations, and Germany's refusal to return the bust highlights the complexity of these issues. Number 6. The Terracotta Army. Discovered in 1974 by a farmer named Yan while drilling a well in Xi'an, China, it represents an astonishing collection of life-sized statues. Built during the reign of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, this army is a monument to the precision and centralized management of the Qin dynasty. Composed of thousands of unique human and animal figures, it reveals the emperor's ambition to have an immortal imperial guard to protect him in the afterlife. Despite their authenticity, the original weapons and armor were stolen shortly after their creation, leaving the statues vulnerable to time and looters. This impressive archaeological find highlights the designer's attention to detail and provides a unique insight into the military power and strategy of ancient China. Although the Terracotta Army is a marvel of imperial design, the exact location of Qin Shi Huang's tomb remains an unsolved mystery. The emperor's legacy spans unification and conflict, and the army offers a fascinating glimpse into Qin Shi Huang's funerary vision. Despite the loss of the original weapons, these statues intertwined with the mystery of the emperor remain an invaluable source of information about the ancient history of China and the mentality of its rulers. Number 7. Giant Buddha. In ancient times, many beautiful statues were created, many of which are quite believable and would appear to have been created by humans. However, some of these masterpieces defy all logic, such as the Buddha statue in the Chinese city of Lesan. Located on Mount Amei, this imposing statue, carved directly into the rock, reaches a height of 71 meters. The head alone measures almost 15 meters, and the width of the statue is an impressive 30 meters. Although it is believed to be more than 1,000 years old, scientists continue to be amazed at the difficulty of creating such a grandiose structure, even for an advanced civilization like China during the Tang Empire in the 7th century AD. The question remains, how was it possible to create something so monumental without advanced machinery? Some locals suggest intriguing theories, such as the intervention of advanced civilizations or even extraterrestrial help. What do you think? Although the Buddha statue has some logical explanation, many other sites on the planet defy any explanation. Number 8. Len Brens Tunic. It was discovered in 2011 by archaeologists conducting research in the Len Brens area in the mountainous Jinan region of Norway. This robe and other artifacts have been preserved for centuries in ice and snow, protected from the effects of time. In the Viking Age, from the 8th century to the 1st century, the Vikings, renowned for their craftsmanship and rugged clothing, played a pivotal role in medieval history through expeditions and exploration in Europe. Len Brens Tunic, dated to that era, is more than a garment, it is a direct link with the past. This well-preserved artifact offers valuable information about Viking clothing, highlighting the skill and attention to detail in its manufacture. Made of wool with a diamond herringbone pattern, it demonstrates the Vikings' skill in textile production, highlighting the importance of clothing as protection from the elements and a symbol of social status. This discovery reinforces the idea that the Vikings valued quality and design in their clothing. Number 9. Allan Hills 84001. Known as ALH 84001, it is a fragment of a meteorite from Mars that was discovered in the Antarctic region of Allan Hills. It was found on December 27, 1984 by a team of American meteorite hunters from the ANSMET project. This meteorite, weighing 1.93 kilograms, belongs to the Shergotite-Naklite-Chasignite group and is believed to have formed approximately 4.09 billion years ago from Martian molten rock. Its Martian origin has been confirmed by chemical analysis, which revealed the presence of liquid water on the surface of Mars in that period. The discovery of ALH 84001 in Antarctica is due to terrain conditions that make it easier to detect objects that do not belong in the environment. The ANSMET project carries out annual expeditions to Antarctica, where they have found impressive rocks. It was Roberta Esker, Antarctic Meteorite Laboratory Manager, who discovered it in the remote western Allan Hills icefield. In 2005, research was carried out to study the origin of ALH 84001. According to analyses, the meteorite appears to have broken off from Eos Chasma in the Valles Marineris Canyon, due to a meteorite impact approximately 17 million years ago. Radiometric dating studies indicate that ALH 84001 arrived on Earth about 13,000 years ago. This meteorite has generated great interest due to the possible signs of biological life that have been suggested in it. In 1996, a group of experts claimed to have found evidence of Martian microorganisms in the meteorite, sparking intense debate. Although this theory was quickly rejected by the majority of the scientific community, it set a precedent for future advances in the field of astrobiology. Although the existence of Martian life in this meteorite has not been confirmed, its study has been fundamental in exploring the possibility of alien microorganisms on other celestial bodies. This reminds us that even if ALH 84001 did not contain fossilized bacteria, we should not rule out the possibility of extraterrestrial life hidden in the core of other meteorites.